All right, the next hip hinge progression is going to be to take away that PVC pipe, broomstick, whatever you're using on your spine, and go a hip hinge with no assistance. There's not going to be any kind of feedback telling you that you're doing this right. So if I don't have any type of object, I could go hands on my thighs. So I've got my feet underneath my hips, toes facing forward. Hands are going to be on my thighs. From here, I'm going to hip hinge. I got soft knees, push my butt back, and I'm sliding my hands down my thighs. It's going to keep your back tight by pressing your hands into your thighs, and then back up. Press the hands into the thighs, back up. If you do have something like a PVC pipe, a mop stick, a broomstick, you could use this as if it is a very, very light barbell. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm holding on to this bar. I'm going to curl my wrists so my knuckles are facing down towards the ground for a strong grip. And I'm going to press this bar into my hips. What that's going to do is keep your upper back tight, which is what we want. Keep a nice brace throughout the spine to keep it neutral. So from here, I'm going to press this bar into my thighs, soft knees, toes facing forward underneath my hips, and hinge. Once I get to a good position, I can feel that stretch in the hamstrings. I don't want to lose that neutral spine, so I'm back up, keeping the bar pressed the entire time. So hinge, back up. Got soft knees, bar pressed into my hips, and hinge. I feel the tension in my hamstrings, so I'm back up. You do not want to think hit a certain target. You want to think feel the tension in my hamstrings. So if I hip hinge, I feel the tension in my hamstrings. But if in my mind I think, no, I've got to hit the floor, I've got to go to mid-shin, and I want to reach even farther, I'm not stressing my hips anymore by going any lower. Only thing I'm doing is losing that neutral spine. You can see my back start to round. I start to lose my tightness in my lats, and this is no good. I got no extra benefit, and all I did is put my spine in a position where it may get hurt. So I'm going to keep that bar tight to the body, big chest, and hinge. I can feel my hamstring tightness here, so I'm back up. We've got a loaded hip hinge. So what we're going to start with is barbell RDLs. So I'm going to be using a barbell, and the RDL is just a hip hinge. It's called a Romanian Deadlift, which is very similar to a deadlift, but it's only the hip hinge portion. So it's the exact same thing that we've done, but now I'm going to be loaded, holding a heavy barbell. Instead of putting my hands here, I now have weight that's going to be pulling me down, trying to pull me out of position. I've got to be able to keep tension in the correct spots while perfecting the movement the entire time. So in this barbell RDL, when I grab the bar, I need to grab it just outside my hips. You don't want to go extra wide, but you don't want your hands on your hips. It gets in the way. So I'm going to put my hands just outside my hips. From there, everything's going to stay the exact same as the normal hip hinges before this. But I've got some weight, so I've got to get a little bit more tension in my upper body and keep things moving smooth. So I'm going to grab just outside my hips, unrack the bar, take a step back so I'm not going to hit anything. I've got my feet facing forward, underneath my hips, got my wrists curled so I got a nice strong grip, thumb around the bar, everything staying neutral, neutral spine, and hinge. Keeping that bar pressed against my thighs nice and tight. All the way down, I feel some good tension in my hamstring, and I'm back up. Hinge. Keeping the bar pressed tight to my body, back up. I'm never letting my knees come forward, keeping everything in the correct position.